My husband walked out without a word. 3 days later, I took a job no one else wanted. They said the man was unstable, but nothing prepared me for what happened that first night. He left like I meant nothing. No argument, no explanation, just a suitcase and silence. One day we were married. The next, I was alone in a half-empty apartment, staring at a life that didn't make sense anymore. Bills didn't stop just because your heart was broken. Rent didn't wait for closure. So 3 days later, I took the only job I could find on short notice. Live-in caregiver, night shifts, good pay, no experience required. That last part should have been my first warning, but I ignored it because I needed the money. The address led me far outside the city, the kind of place you don't just pass by. You have to be looking for it. Tall, iron gates, a long, winding driveway, trees on both sides, blocking out the road behind me like I was being swallowed whole. The house itself was massive, too quiet, too still. A woman in her 50s opened the door before I could knock. Sharp eyes, tired face. "You're the new one?" she asked. I nodded. "Good," she said. "Come in." No smile, no welcome, just business. Inside, everything was spotless. Not clean, perfect, like no one actually lived there. "His name is Victor," she said as we walked down a long hallway. "He has episodes." "What kind of episodes?" I asked carefully. She stopped, turned slowly. "You'll find out." Not reassuring, not even close. We kept walking until we reached a locked door at the end of the hall. She pulled out a key, paused, then looked straight at me. "One rule," she said quietly, "if he tells you things, don't believe him." A chill ran down my spine. Before I could ask anything else, she unlocked the door and stepped aside. "Your shift starts now." I hesitated, just for a second. Then I walked in. The room was dim, curtains drawn tight, a single lamp casting long shadows across the walls. And there he was, sitting on the edge of the bed, perfectly still, watching me, not confused, not unstable, just aware, too aware. "You shouldn't be here," he said calmly. My heart skipped. "Why?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. He tilted his head, slightly, and smiled. "Because you're not the first." Something about the way he said it, not threatening, not emotional, just factual, like he was stating something obvious. I glanced back toward the door. Still closed. Locked. "You mean other caregivers?" I asked. He didn't answer right away. Instead, he leaned back slightly, studying me. "Tell me," he said quietly, "did she warn you about me?" I hesitated. "That you have episodes." A faint smile crossed his face. That's one way to describe it. My grip tightened around my bag. "Look, I'm just here to do my job," I said. "Then you should leave," he replied instantly. The words hit harder than I expected. "Why?" I asked again. This time, his expression changed. Not dramatic, just serious. "Because the last one didn't," he said. Silence filled the room. Heavy, uncomfortable. I swallowed. "What happened to them?" He held my gaze for a long moment, then said, "You'll find out tonight." And just like that, the lights flickered. The lights flickered once, twice, then steadied. I froze where I stood, my heart suddenly beating louder than the silence around me. Victor didn't react. He didn't even blink. Like this was normal, like it happened all the time. "You see," he said quietly. My throat felt dry. "See what?" He glanced toward the ceiling, then back at me. "She doesn't like new people." A chill ran through me. Before he could answer, a loud thud echoed somewhere in the house. Not close, but not far either. I turned toward the door instinctively. "Is someone else here?" I asked. "No," Victor replied calmly. "Not someone." My stomach tightened. Then what was that? He didn't answer directly. Instead, he leaned forward slightly. Did she tell you why the last one left? My mind flashed back to the woman's warning. You don't ask questions you don't need answers to. No, I said. Another sound. Closer this time. A dragging noise. Slow. Heavy. Coming from the hallway. My breath caught. That's not funny, I whispered. Victor's expression didn't change. I'm not laughing. The handle of the door behind me rattled suddenly. Hard. Like someone was trying to force it open. I jumped back, my pulse racing. Is that her? I asked quickly. Victor shook his head. No. The rattling stopped. Silence again. Then, a soft scrape, right outside the door, like something or someone was standing there, listening. I stepped away, my back nearly hitting the wall. This isn't part of the job, I said, my voice shaking now. You should go, Victor said again. But this time, there was urgency in his tone. Real urgency. I can't just leave, I replied. The door is locked. He stood up slowly for the first time, every movement controlled. Careful. Then listen to me, he said. If you hear it call your name, don't answer. My heart skipped. What? Before he could explain, a voice came from the other side of the door. Soft. Familiar. Too familiar. Hey, it whispered. My blood ran cold, because I knew that voice. It was my husband's. The same voice that had walked out on me 3 days ago. I stared at the door, unable to move. Open the door, it said gently. I just want to talk. My hand slowly lifted toward the handle, without thinking, without control. Don't, Victor said sharply. I froze. The voice outside softened even more. Please. My chest tightened, because it sounded real. Exactly like him. Like he was right there, waiting. I took another step closer. Stop, Victor said, louder this time. Whatever you think you hear, it's not real. The voice changed slightly, not much, just enough. Why are you ignoring me? It said. Hurt now, familiar, convincing. My fingers hovered inches from the handle, trembling, and deep down, I realized something terrifying. I didn't know if I was more afraid of opening that door or not opening it. My hand hovered over the door handle, trembling. The voice outside softened again. Please, it's me. It sounded exactly like my husband. Every tone, every pause, every familiar inflection. For a moment, I almost believed it. Victor's eyes locked on mine. Don't, he said firmly. If you open that door, it won't be him. A cold knot formed in my stomach. What is it? I whispered. It listens, he said quietly. Learns who you trust, then becomes that. I froze as the voice changed. Desperate now. Why are you ignoring me? Tears stung my eyes. It sounded broken, like the man I loved pleading for me. I stepped back, my hand dropping. No, I whispered. Silence filled the hallway. Then, a loud bang slammed against the door. My heart jumped. Another hit, stronger, angrier. Then silence again. Victor exhaled slowly. You made the right choice, he said. What is it? I asked. He shook his head. No one knows, but it hates being ignored. I swallowed hard, staring at the locked door. This is why no one stays. I whispered. He nodded. And now you understand why you shouldn't either. I glanced around the dim room, shadows stretching unnaturally. Every instinct screamed to run. But I couldn't leave, not yet. Tomorrow, I said quietly, you'll tell me everything. Victor's faint smile was the only answer. If you're still here, he said, somewhere deep in the house, something moved again.